Played great versus Santa Clara. Loved the defensive intensity, the effort, the steals, the causing turnovers, all really, really good. So loved the effort, loved the energy. Gave them 2 days off. Obviously got finals right now and practice yesterday, and hopefully have 2 really good practices leading up to New Mexico State, and a really good opportunity to go get a road win. So excited about it.
As far as the defense goes, obviously it's still been a lot better than it was last year, and you have the famous preseason quote about, we can't suck. We don't have to be great, we just can't suck. You guys are almost, analytically, you guys are better defensively right now than offensively. How much can you sustain that, do you think? Can you be a better defensive team than offensive team?
I don't know. What I want is balance, I guess, is, I think if you look at analytically our numbers, I didn't look today, but, we're like 40-ish offensively, we're 30-ish defensively. Like, that's the sign of a good team. Last year, we were a good team, we weren't a great team, but last year we were analytically top 25 offensively. We were like top 125 to 150 defensively. So I don't know what'll be better. I think our rebounding numbers are great. You look at the Mountain West sends out something every day of where you rank in field goal, defense, offense, all those things, and I always highlight it. And a lot of it is towards the top. So we have the personnel to be good defensively. We have the depth to be good defensively, but still a long season. And I think as you get, whether it's playing an opponent second time around like New Mexico State, it's always going to be harder, as well as when you get in conference, the game certainly slows down a little bit more.
And when you are pressing on defense, would you say you guys are trying to speed them up more than you're trying to turn them over, or are you guys trying to turn them over? Or what would you say you're trying to get out of the press?
Trying to make them uncomfortable, trying to disrupt them, trying to take away the opportunity for them to walk the ball up the court and look over to their coach and then signal the play and then tell so get them to play kind of an uncomfortable game, I guess, would be what we're hoping to do. And if we do speed them up, scramble, make them, it's always, you have a decision to make when teams press you. Do you attack it to score? Do you attack it to beat it and then pull it back out and run a set? So I think the goal is to make them uncomfortable, but not give up anything easy, for sure.
Now, 10 games in, how are you liking the progression of your team then after a great performance? Did you expect your team to be playing at this level right now?
I think your mustache is better than anything my team is doing. So I didn't expect that coming out of the gates this early in the day, so it looks terrific. But I think after, 10 games? I don't even know what your question was. What was the question? It's just breathtaking. Yeah, no.
So through 10 games, do you like where the team is at?
Yeah.
Progression-wise, and also after the performance you had, did you expect your team to be playing?
Yeah, I think we didn't expect to be playing as well when Mash and House have only played 15 minutes together. I think that's been the surprise. Mash will be back. I think the hope is, after Christmas, to get him back into the mix. His leg is healed. Now we're waiting for his thumb to kind of heal so that he feels really, really good, pain-free there. But I wanted progress from last year. I think we're showing that. But I told them yesterday, after 10 games, obviously we didn't lose last year after 10 games, but we were in a similar spot. So we can't be complacent. We got to continue to get better and better and better as the year goes on. So certainly after 10 games, very, very happy with where we're at.
So 3 consecutive wins on a neutral court by a large margin. You talked about how guys are fighting for playing time. It's not easy to sustain big leads all the time, especially on a neutral court. Is that a testament to maximizing every player's minutes when you get that?
I think our guys understand the value of, if you're up by 15, a 25-point win may mean more analytically. as crazy as that sounds. It's just a different deal. I think they know you're judged by every possession from Ken Palm and net ranking and all. I think they understand that, so there may be something good there in that. We're never trying to run up the score, but we're trying to certainly play the right way. Now, the other thing is we have a lot of depth. And what I've told the guys over and over again is you're going to have to sacrifice game to game. But I want you to compete your butts off and perform. It's not going to be a set guy. It's who's performing in that night that's going to have that opportunity. Like last game, Isaac Mushila was playing great. Not that he was scoring a lot, but he was rebounding. He was getting steals. Here we go. Now, the slate is blank again because there's a lot of opportunities there where I think last year everybody kind of understood, like, okay, these are the top 7 and this is going to be what it is, where I think it's different this year.
So along what you said about the Ken Palm, they added the plus minus in the box scores now. And have for a number of years. Obviously, along the lines of what you're saying, when guys are in the game, they want to do things to make the team do well, so that plus minus looks impressive as well, I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it. There's times where it may not be an indicator, but I had Steve do all the plus minuses actually yesterday from the first 10 games just to kind of get a look at it. Is it black and white? No, I don't think it is. But it's just going to be about, it's still a long, long season. But when you are in there, do you provide value? Do you help increase your value as well as provide value to the team? And if you do that, you should be playing so hard that we're subbing you out because you're tired. And we've had many instances of that this year.
You were just relentless at times in that game, pretty much the majority. Was that the game plan, or is there somebody on the floor that is just getting his teammates to just have that high motor?
Well, they were big. They're bigger than us. They started a 6'10" kid at the 3. And we felt like, okay, that's what they're going to try to do. Let's be really, really disruptive. And then I think we saw that our pressure was bothering them, and we felt as though maybe that was a potential strength for us in that game. And our guys were great. Our pick and roll defense, we're active, we're flying around, we're in the gaps, we're covering for each other. So it's been a fun brand of basketball to watch.
You mentioned Mash. Can we just walk back on the injury a little bit? He had the thumb injury before the season started. Was it a tear before the season, or did the tear? Yeah,
I think it was. He's been playing with the thumb deal since the beginning of the season. I believe it happened in a practice, and if you go back and look, I believe he's had tape on his hand for every game. His right thumb. He was playing through it. I believe the Rice game, he kind of re-injured it, so we went and had a MRI done on it to look at it to see is it not progressing or whatever, and then kind of made the decision like, let's shut you down. He could probably play through it with some pain, and he would, but I don't know if that's the best thing for him right now. I think the best thing, very similar to Jalen House, was we gave him rest so that hopefully he can be good the rest of the season. We're doing the same with Jamal to heal him up the best that we can and hopefully get him ready for conference play.
How's he handling it? How is he around practice and
Yeah, he doesn't do that stuff well. Now he's starting to get. He'd had some rest because of the leg, the contusion. Now he's on the side doing some cardio stuff, and I was laughing at him because he's a little bit out of shape. But I think he's working his way back for sure. I mean, Christmas is coming up here, and hopefully after that break we can start practicing him, and he feels good. But I don't want him to be playing in pain. I want him to get pain free so that he can have a great couple months.
How big is he still as a leader? I even see him during games here. He'll get off the bench and come talk to you. I don't know what he's talking about, but it just seems like he's talking about the game, obviously. But is he still a big time leader guy?
Yeah, he wants to win. He's about the right things. He his work is what speaks more than anything. I mean, he just works his butt off, and he's serious about his approach to the game. So although people think leadership is about giving some speech in the locker room, and that has value, he lives it on a daily basis. So I trust his opinion. I want to know, his eyes and ears of what he's seeing, and, how's the just the thoughts and the mindset of the team, not in a rat him out type of way, but, what can I do to have a pulse on everything? And he's really good at that.
You mentioned that the second time around is always a little more difficult, but you beat these guys by a bazillion not too long ago. Are you concerned that they focus in and say, okay, we just got to play this thing from scratch?
No, I mean, I don't think so. We know the importance of the game. We know the importance of all the games. It's hard to win on the road. I think, we haven't brought up a whole lot of last game, to be honest, versus them. I mean, now there's film study of what they did versus us, what we did versus them. But we understand it's a totally different game. So, I mean, there's concerns going into every game. There's never a game where you're not concerned about something, especially as you get closer and closer to conference play. So it's the opportunity in front of us. We'll see what we can learn from the first game, but also know it's a totally different game.
They're a team that has had issues with foul trouble, which you exploited last time. Given that, do you change the plan, just be more aggressive, try to force the issue to get to the free throw line?
We always want to get to the foul line. That's always a focal point of what we're trying to do offensively. Is we're trying to get to the rim, we're trying to get to the paint, we're trying to put pressure on your defense. So we'll continue to try to do that. Obviously the first game was really, really clunky with all the fouls that were called. And it's something where we're going to try to do that versus every opponent.
You had a chance to, you had a chance to scout, I'm assuming, a couple teams from the Mountain West. It was a big weekend for the Mountain West last week. Colorado State had a high-profile game. What are your thoughts on the other teams that you had a chance to see so far?
Well, I don't. Why would I be watching? Why did I have a chance to scout them? What are you talking about?
In Vegas, since UNLV was there.
Oh, they were after us, so I didn't watch them. I know that it's great for the league that you have to get through the non-conference, and teams have got to be good analytically to help you. So if you look at that net, in the rankings of Utah State's high, San Diego State's high, Nevada was high. I don't know what they're at now. They just lost, obviously. I'm sure I'm always forgetting a bunch of them, but Colorado State, obviously very, very high. You want opportunities on your conference schedule to provide value for you. I think what we have in this league is anytime you have football, obviously football is always going to take, precedent in a lot of ways, and that's understandable. But it's a really, really good basketball league. I always say it's the equivalent of the Big East in the West. Now more so than ever with the Pac-12 falling apart, we have an opportunity as a basketball conference to be one of the best out there. And I think what you're seeing is commitments from a lot of schools. And that's more so than anything. Like, you can't put a Band-Aid on something. You've got to commit to basketball. And I know San Diego State, UNLV, us, Colorado State, Boise State, Nevada, they're all really, really trying. And I know those other schools are trying as well. And if we continue to, as a league and as administrations and presidents and schools do that, we can be the West Coast version of the Big East, and we can be a multi-bid league. But it all starts with the resources that are provided for you. And certainly some do, some don't. But it certainly seems like our league is doing that.
Coach, what are you most surprised by this team? Are you surprised that your freshmen that played? They're not playing like freshmen. I mean, they're aggressive, outstanding play.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you never know what you're getting with freshmen, especially now with the transfer portal world. Everybody's trying to figure out what to do, and nobody wants to be young anymore. But the opportunities have been presented to those young guys, whether it's Donovan as a sophomore and JT and True and they've taken advantage of it, and that's great for them. You know, I mean, we would not be sitting where we are right now with the injuries that we've had if they didn't step up, and they've done that in a world where you're playing against old teams all the time. I've been impressed with the defense, the rebounding, the commitment to those things. You know, I mean, that's how you get to where we're trying to go.
Talked a lot about JT, and obviously he's been big, and Donovan too. But can you just elaborate more on Donovan? Obviously, they got those Mountain West Weekly honors. What is it? He seems like he handles being on the floor, being like a floor general. Have you been surprised? Not surprised, just happy with how he's really played and kind of handled himself on the floor so far?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised. No, I felt as though when we signed him, I've said it before, would be the future of our program. I think because we had two dynamic, terrific players in Mash and House early in this rebuild process, we felt as though like those were the guys, and they're two of the best guards in the country. But Donovan's a little bit different than them. And now if they get healthy, can we play them all together and do those things? We got to figure that out. But what Donovan is a phenomenal passer and a great layup maker. You know, he has some layups that he makes look really, really easy. You know, he had one, he switched and went left hand last game, and it was like, what just happened there? So, you know, I know we'll be better when Mash gets back and House gets back to kind of his old self after that injury. But Donovan, we thought we got a good one there. You know, he's a state champion. He's a, player of the year in the state. He was somebody we targeted very, very early, and we thought he'd be a really good player.
It just seems like this team is meshing. I mean, how's the attitude of this team and just their outlook? I mean, it seems like they get along and everything. They have the right mindset of pushing forward and stuff. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care if they get along. I know that sounds horrible. Guys are always going to have close friends on the team, and some they may not hate, but they may not hang out with as much. I care about, you know, them all pulling in the right direction in practice on a daily basis, and, you know, their habits being in alignment with what their individual expectations are to go along with the team's expectations. And it seems to be good so far. Now, we've had adversity in the sense of injuries, but we haven't been on a 2-3 game losing streak. You know, I mean, we've won 8 in a row, so everything's good right now. But we'll figure, you know, hopefully later than sooner. But it's how you respond from a loss or 2 or 3 or an injury or so. That's when it gets really, really challenging, and that's the hard part about transfers all the time. You know, and that's why we're trying to build that young core to go along with the transfers, so that we do now. The Mashes and the Houses and the Sebastians who have been here through a buzzer beater twice at home or losing a tough one on the road, they can talk about that and understand that. But you never know until you really truly go through that adversity.
Anything else? You wear your DeVito jersey like out, or is that just at home during Giants games?
That was a phenomenal. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold. I crushed some NyQuil 2 nights ago. And just watching that, it is the Italian version of Linsanity. It's the same exact thing. It's hilarious. So I will, you know what, that's a good idea for Jack for Christmas, but he's a Vikings fan, unfortunately. But that would be, seeing him in a DeVito jersey would be hilarious. So I might get on that. All right, thank you.
How does one from Sweden become a Giants fan?
Odell Beckham Jr. That's the name. I watched him growing up, and that's kind of started my passion. And then I started watching the Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. That was kind of my era of watching football. I don't really watch it as much anymore.
Have you ever played football?
I mean, we played like in the backyard in Sweden, but it's like we only did it to like hit each other. Basically, we didn't really have the skill that American football players have, so we just banged.
You're not quite at the level of Odell Beckham Jr.
No, I wouldn't say that, but I can sling a ball for sure.
Who was the player that you referenced right out of the gate? The first name you just said?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Beckham. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. Yep. OBJ.
Sure.
All right, how about basketball? You guys are in a good spot, man. I know it's not 10-0 like last year, but 9-1 and 8 games in a row is pretty good. What's that locker room like? What are practices like?
Man, we're just hungry. We just want to get better every day. And I think the best thing about winning these games is we see improvement every game. We see our defense getting better, our offense, a unit. Like, I think we just want to keep seeing improvement and keep grinding it out every day in practice and treat every game like it's the same game.
You've been through this obviously 2 years now. There's some new guys on this team a lot of new guys on this team that haven't been through this, probably don't know what the Mountain West is about to bring them. How much do you talk to them about that? And the guys that have been through this, how much are you guys talking about what's about to come?
Man, we talk to them every day. We say, like, this season is really two seasons in itself. You have the non-conference, which is not really the same as conference. Conference is a whole different game. The refs change. The team change. It's no, like, if you win by 15-10, that's a good win in the conference. And by us blowing teams out now, I'm saying, like, it might not be the same when we get to conference. And we just all got to, like, stay the whole process and never give up on each other and just keep going every day in practice. And we want to be our best around February, March. So we just got to keep improving every day in practice and every day in the games.
Sebastian, what do you need to do to get more playing time?
I mean, I just got to give the coach what's it called? I'm trying to find a word. Trying to give him the trust to put me out there every time. And I just got to keep getting better in practice, keep showing more. And I just got to keep improving, keep working hard, and just have faith in that my skill would take me to the court. And I hope that's soon, because I just want to be out there with the guys and play. So, for sure.
I know it's not like last year, but you've had a couple injuries again this year, right? Like off and on. How healthy are you right now? Do you have anything going right now that's an injury?
I mean, the ankle from the New Mexico State game is still bothering me a little bit, but it's nothing that hinders me to go out there and play and perform. I feel like I can play right now. I can perform. So it's just about getting out there.
It's a New Mexico State team that you guys blew out this last time. They had a very close win against Northern New Mexico. But like you said, you just got to keep playing, keep getting better, especially in this one. This isn't a team you can't overlook. Is that kind of like what you guys are saying in the locker room?
Yeah, we treat every game like it's the same. We prepare the same for every single game, and we understand that this is a rivalry and this means a lot to the people that live here and are from here. So we just want to represent for them and go and give our best effort and try to get the win.
Are you surprised at how well you guys are playing right now? I mean, there aren't very many close games.
No, I mean, we knew once we got together in July, June, September, August, everything, like we knew we was gonna make noise. But for us, it's just about staying the same, staying hungry, staying competing, like never kind of just be content about it, because we did the same thing last year and then we got content, and then what ended up happening, everything went down. So for us, we just got to keep improving every day, keep each other accountable, and just stick to the process and just keep going and keep blowing teams out.
As obviously the younger guys, the freshmen, have they been a surprise, and how are they obviously fit into the system and their mentality and stuff? How's that been for you, Sue?
No, it's been good. I mean, I've been impressed by these freshmen ever since I saw them play the first time in practice. JT is a tremendous player, as efficient as ever, and can't complain about having True on defensive end, who's just energy, and will bother your best player and will create stuff on offense. So I mean, it's amazing to get in this world where transfers is running the world. Getting Pitino having this much success in recruiting is amazing with Donnie and all of them. So it's amazing to see that we can produce this instead of bringing in people as well.
Do you have finals this week?
Yeah.
Are you still taking some?
Oh yeah, it's that's the most that takes the time off basketball. Yeah, now finals is a struggle in itself.
What are you going to school for?
Psychology. So I just finished my finals in clinical psychology.
Do you talk? I don't know what I guess discipline or what kind of psychology, but I know Isaac has a psychology degree from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Do you have him help you with your homework? You guys ever ask him questions about his psychology degree?
In the future, I definitely will. I haven't thought about it, but yeah. No, but I mean, I kind of want to go into the field of sports psychology and kind of helping athletes dealing with stuff off the court, because that is one of the most important things of an athlete, because only so much of it is mental. And I've experienced that firsthand dealing with stuff off the court. So that's kind of why I do it, just to be able to help other people off the court and kind of just learn more about it and get more educated in that, because I think that can make me a better athlete and a better person. So.
Sebastian, do you guys talk about that? You and teammates about like supporting each other off the court?
For sure, we always use family. We always talk about family. Like, this is everything. Once we got together in June, July, and everybody got here, we all knew we was all locked in for this, and we all bought into the process and all bought into like the grind of never stopping and always keep working. So we knew, yeah, we just always have each other's back, whatever happens.
Do they call your dad on Twitter?
My dad, he always going crazy on there.
Like in the middle of the night too, right?
I don't understand how he does it. I wouldn't even be able to stay up at 3 a.m. and watch a game and actually be locked in, but I'm impressed, no, sure.